Dear viewers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We thank God once again who has kept us alive up to today. Sorry for whoever has been challenged through the week. We are praying that God sustains you. We are looking at our root, Diginity. And under it, we had started on self-care. Self-care simply means caring for yourself. We had begun on a point of not being worried about anything. And we read about that from the Bible in the book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. We don't have to worry about anything. That's what God tells us. Instead, we should pray about everything. We should tell God what we need and thank Him for all He has done for us. Above it all, I said that when you love yourself, you care for yourself well. You cannot say you love God when you don't love yourself. You cannot say you love yourself when you don't love God, who made you what you are. Therefore, when we read from His Word, what we read is a guideline to our well-being. Love yourself as you love your neighbor. There's no way you can love your neighbor when you don't love yourself. Self-care. Worrying wastes us, ruins us. If you were to have dignity before you seek it from others, care for yourself. People will look at you when you are worried, and they will have to reduce the grade that they would have given you. There is a way you lose a mark when you seek dignity from people, when you don't give it yourself. And you remember, when I talk about self-care, self-love, those are some of the ways that will keep you in a position of having dignity. You do it yourself first before others do it for you. So under self-care, do not worry about anything. We got that. Love and appreciate yourself. Many times we've gone wrong because we've not appreciated ourselves. We've not loved ourselves. Why do you hate yourself? You hear or you know about people who commit suicide, who kill themselves, who starve themselves. It goes way beyond. Here where I am, there are people who are beyond what you think. Somebody gets like a knife and cuts himself piece by piece, piece by piece, piece by piece, just because he is tired of life. I'm tired of life. I don't want anybody to say anything to me. Some get needles, these injections. They put drugs in their body. Others drink poison. Others do a lot of stuff. When you do such things, to me it is like you don't value God. That life we have is not ours. This life is a gift. You remember our root, which we looked at some time back. Life is a gift from God. None of us human beings has a factory that manufactures life. None of us human beings can create him or herself. Thank God for the scientists, great scientists, who have manufactured, who have invented, who have created a lot of things. But when it comes to life, no way. Life belongs to God. Now, if God gave it to you, how do you decide to lose it in your understanding? That shows you don't love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, how do you expect others to love you? If you don't give yourself dignity, how do you expect others to give you dignity? Appreciate yourself. Remember, I told you, you are yourself. I'm myself. I can never, ever compare myself to any other person. That is another way of caring for yourself. Why do you compare yourself with others? There is no way you relate. The only relation that God put between us as human beings or among us is because we are human, period. But in our first teachings, we looked at the way God made us uniquely. You are yourself completely, and also, yes, our children carry genes that they get from us. We carry our parents' genes, but still you are different. There's no way you can be 100% your parent. There's no way you can be 100% your child can be 100% you. Some people don't appreciate themselves because they compare themselves to others. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself. Don't compare yourself with any other person. You are yourself. The moment you come to learn that, you'll have gone to a good level of self-care. Another way we can care for ourselves is by not seeking approval. Follow your mind. What do you think about yourself? What do you say about yourself? What do you do about yourself? Some of these phrases I already made when I was talking about self-love. And I told you they will be coming up every now and then because these topics are kind of mixed up. The way you take yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you conduct yourself, the way you think about yourself, the way you talk about yourself, the way you do or perform is what your mind tells you. As long as your mind doesn't misguide you. Sometimes we are misguided and we seek guidance from other people. We seek guidance from God. We seek guidance from experts. That's why we have counseling, guidance and counseling sessions in the societies where we are. Sometimes your mind may misguide you. That's why people end up committing suicide. They're misguided. For him, he thinks when he does that, it will be a solution. There is no solution when somebody dies. If your intentions, when you are doing anything, are to live life, then that's not a solution because you will not enjoy a solution. It's always good to look for a solution to a problem when you are going to enjoy the fruits of the solution you have got. But if you die, you're not going to enjoy it. So some of us seek approval from other people. At your place of work, you work to be approved by your manager. In your house, you're a husband, you work to be approved by your wife. You work to be approved by your husband if you're a wife. A child seeks approval from the parent. A parent seeks approval from the child. And so on and so forth. Yes, it is good to be approved. But let it not dominate your well-being. The more we seek approval, the more we get into what we call intimidation, manipulation, exploitation. The more we lose our dignity. Because the people you seek approval from tend to overpower you, to use you, to downlook you, to put your value down. Think about that. Approval is good. And whenever we are like in our workplaces, we put in our applications, we put in our requests. The word which is used for such requests is, you've been approved. That is okay. But I mean, when it comes in form of like becoming your lifestyle, that's not good. You are going to eat food. Every other person is holding a plate, started eating, and for you, you are just sitting there. Everybody's like, what's going on? Why are you not eating? I was waiting to be told to start eating. You are seeking approval. You have your clothes to wear. You cannot make a choice of what to wear as long as it doesn't offend others. You wait until you are approved. You're a man there, you want to build your family, a house. You want approval from your friends. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 years. You cannot start anything because you are seeking approval from friends. Instead of seeking approval, seek guidance. Seek advice. And doesn't mean that when you seek such things, you have to depend on them 100%. The choice is yours. The decision is yours. People bring ideas for us to develop, but those ideas are developed by people individually and they come up with something. It doesn't mean that people who generate ideas are the ones who have to develop them and come up with a solution. So as you seek approval, be careful because it may take away your care. You may end up not caring for yourself, but you've given room to others to care for you. You should leave yourself that room of self-care. We've not been kind to ourselves. This one brings us back to loving and appreciating ourselves. Being kind to yourself is a way you care for yourself. The Bible talks about a good Samaritan who found somebody beaten to death. Everybody was passing by. The church priest passed by. The village LC 1, whatever LC level passed by. The MP passed by. The president passed by. The doctor, until when a good Samaritan came by. He was riding his donkey. He was on his way to somewhere. He felt concerned. He got off his donkey, asked the man, got involved, and carried it through until he left him in the hospital, if we had called it a hospital. He was kind to this man who was wounded. That is very good. Many times we've been good Samaritans. We've helped others. We've cared for others. I don't mean to say we shouldn't do that. Continue, because there is a reward from God in doing that. And that's what He wants us to do. But how have you cared for yourself in terms of being kind? When somebody is hungry, he wants something to eat. You are kind enough to provide something if you have. Okay, I have a banana here, you can have it. But when you are hungry, you cannot have yourself a banana because it is expensive. I can't buy it. That's being unkind to yourself. When you have some clothes somewhere, somebody is, if you are doing it, I'm just giving examples. You can decide to get a dress and give it to your sister, to somebody whom you see needs that thing. But when it comes to yourself, you are wearing something that makes you lose dignity because you are not kind to yourself. Be kind to others as you are kind to yourself. Do it for yourself so that others may know that you are a person who values yourself. We are very kind as Christians while we are at church. Everything that requires giving. A pastor comes, or whoever is concerned. We have a need in our midst. There is a group of people back home in Uganda. There is a group of people where. He narrates it very well. Whoever is saying it, we pay attention. As a result, we need some help. Please be kind and contribute something. Many times people who are seeking that kind of help use a language, a marketing language, a convincing language. I don't mean to say it is only in church, but everywhere. Even at our places of work. Even in the house. A parent can talk to his children like that. You see in our village, we have an old woman. She needs this and this and this. It is very good. It's very good for children to grow up knowing they have to be kind to others. They have to give, because when they give, they are given. But you, man who is there, how do you give others when your family is starving? I've seen many fathers over there who are doing that. Husbands, you care for other people's wives more than you care for your wife. You are kind. Yes, it's good to be kind, but you are not doing it the right way. Care for yourself too. Your wife is looking whichever way. No dignity. Whoever looks at her is like, oh, look at me, says so and so. I don't know what's wrong with her. Look at the hair. Look at that. Like she has no value at all. For you, you are busy being kind to others. Some of you even go to the level of paying school fees for other people's children when yours are in the house. The only kind thing you can do for them is to guide them to go to the gardens to dig so that they can get money for their school fees. But where do you get that money which you give others? Be kind to yourself. Don't be mean. People who do such things are mean, are selfish. If it is giving in the church, yes, do it. If it is helping in the community, yes, do it. Be kind to people. Love them. Support them. But how is it about yourself? How is it about your family? How is it about any other person? Some of us have parents. Your mother doesn't even have a blanket. You give it as a donation to the community. Be kind in all ways. We are talking about self-care. Self-care. But when you are caring for yourself, it doesn't mean that you have to ignore others. If you ignore others, you are referred to as a self-centered person. Don't be self-centered. I want us to understand this. When I say love yourself, care for yourself, esteem yourself, that self should not put us in a kind of prison that we have to behave self-centered. No. I hope you understand what it means. Because if you have that self-centered behavior, then you'll have turned into another thing. You'll have turned into somebody who, it's a big word, there are some people who are called narcissists. You will have become discriminative. No, we don't want you to discriminate. We shouldn't be discriminative. We shouldn't be narcissists. But God wants us to be people for other people as we care for ourselves. In caring for yourself, you should also think about eating well. What do you eat? Eating and drinking go hand in hand. People eat poorly. People. If we are caring for ourselves, we should eat well. Drink well. What do you drink? What do you eat? Sleep well. How do you sleep? When do you sleep? How long do you sleep? Rest enough. What does that mean to you? People don't rest. We hustle. We toil. We overwork ourselves. God wants us to be hard workers, not overworkers. Get time to rest. I'll add on from there next time. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to share. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe and comment. God bless you. We meet next time.